time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself, I felt it in.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. Excited about today's episode. We got a special episode for y'all today. The epic, the one and only, who's the GOAT? And it always comes down to two people.
LeBron James.
MJ and LeBron James. All right, we got my man AJ coming through right after this intro to start the debate. But before we go through that, I got to introduce my guys, man. I got Davey Dollars and Mr. Your Done Son, Tomo. What's good, fellas?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It feels good to see somebody come on here and actually have this fisticuffs with Joe. We've been waiting almost 14 months for this. You know, we thought LeBron was going to retire before we had this debate on the show, but nope, AJ to the rescue. So I'm good.
Well, we had Ty, but.
Well, we know how that went.
Easy work.
Easy peasy. But I'm excited for today. It got rescheduled because it was originally scheduled for yesterday. But, to my advantage, it got rescheduled for today. So I'm here on winning Wednesdays, working Wednesdays. So it's only right to turn me up because I'm excited for today.
Turn me up.
And I got to give a shout out to myself, for being.
We got you.
Okay.
Tomo got you. All right, so look, let's get this thing started.
AJ, more you funny times when the AJ get dressed.
AJ coming, y'all. He ain't ducking.
I figured I'd take on the look since Kev called me professor.
Oh, he got the. Oh, snap! It's because he got the glasses. Okay. All right. So look, y'all. We are streaming this on 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and we are now monetized on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube and all the subscribers. Make sure you like the video on all 3 platforms. Share this video on all 3 platforms. You want people to come on and watch this episode. And last but not least, like and subscribe. Subscribe and follow on all 3 platforms. Use that comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting down throughout the show. Tomo's going to go over the priority comments, but we do have that. Those will get bumped to the front. Anything before that will just get skipped. And we only putting comments on the screen that are related to the topic at hand. MJ versus LeBron. All right. So, Dave, talk about those IG chats we got going on where this particular debate is always sparking up at.
Yep. This particular debate always sparks up in one of the chats, which is the NBA chat. But in these chats, we pretty much give you all the latest news here first. We have covered 3 drafts so far. That is the NFL draft, the NBA draft, and the MLB draft. And all in these chats, in these specific chats, we have let everyone know exactly who's getting picked, where they're going, what college they came from, or what high school they came from. Because apparently in Major League Baseball, you can get drafted as a freshman in high school. So, okay, maybe not a freshman, but, I'm just saying they getting drafted right out of high school. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, you get all the latest news here first, no matter what it is. It could be legal issues or, something good, something bad. Doesn't matter. If it's newsworthy, we put it in there first. So that's the NBA chat mixing with WNBA. We got the NFL chat. We got some things going on with Saquon Barkley. We don't know if he's going to be there week one, or what contract he was offered. Because from what I saw, he's calling cap. So
Stop the cap.
Major League Baseball, shout out to BWT Baseball with Teddy. That he's the one that gives out all the baseball news, all the baseball shows, everything through baseball goes through there. So if you're a baseball fan or want to become one, BWT is the place to be. College football, we are 45 days away from the start of college football, so make sure that you tune in. It's going to be an exciting football season. Shout out to the U, shout out to the University of Maryland, Michigan State, Penn State, USC, Florida. These are some of the teams I didn't chat, so I'll make sure I I'm doing my best to give out all the shout outs to all those teams. And I can't forget Georgia. My brother's a Georgia fan, so it wouldn't be right to at least say shout out to Georgia. College basketball, men and women, shout out to LSU women. They won last year. Shout out to UConn, whose men won last year. Who's going to see, can one of them repeat or can both of them repeat? We'll see how that goes this year. And then boxing, we got a new fight that's coming up with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. That's going to happen. I believe that's in October 26th. So make sure that you tune in for that fight. It's going to be an epic one. And then, of course, July 29th, you got Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. I can't wait for that fight. I know Tomo's going to be hosting the boxing episode. I'm going to be tuned in whenever that happens. It's going to be a great show. But that's also mixed in with some UFC and some, little bits and pieces of wrestling. So make sure you want to get in on these chats, though. It used to be free. We used to tell y'all if you want to get all this, you might want to do it now. But now, Tom is going to tell you what you got to do to get in there. So tell
them to bring me my money.
That's what you got to do. But to become a member, you got to click the link in the description. You want to join these chats, become a member. Click the link in the description. Or if you already subscribed, it's that join button right next to subscribe. But if you're not subscribed, you can join and subscribe at the same time. It's like a 2-for-1 bundle deal for you to become a Refuse to Lose member. And we offer 3 levels. We got the pro level at $2.99 a month, all-star level at $4.99, and then superstar level at $9.99. With the pro level, you get the loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and the live chats. You also get priority comments, as Joe was telling you all about. So those priority comments get bumped to the front. So if you got something you want to say and you're a pro member, you already know it's going to get displayed. You see Ty said something earlier. And you get to join one of the sports chats. So one of the chats that Dave just shared with you, you can join one of those chats. But if you want to participate in multiple chats, then you got to get the all-star level. That's $4.99 a month. You can join multiple chats. You get member-only videos. You get to request a topic for the show. And you get to request a segment nominee. So that's Your Done Son, Not So Average Top 5, and Dave's Doghouse. But you also get the same perks with the pro level too. So don't think you just get those for $4.99. You also get a little bit with the pro. Then you can get the superstar level. You go to the superstar level, that's $9.99 a month. So you get the same perks from the all-star and the pro levels, but you also get to join the R2L chat. So with the R2L chat, that's where it really gets down and dirty. All the debates finish there. They may start somewhere else, but they finish in the R2L chat. And with the superstar level, you can be a guest on the show. You don't have to be a guest, but the invite is always there. You get awards and plaques, so go back and check it out. That award ceremony that we did is right there on the YouTube page. So as you join in and subscribing, you can check out that award ceremony. And we give out actual plaques to the top performers, and that's based upon the episode that you was on, the ratings that you receive, and you get member shout outs. You see, we always shouting somebody out on here, but we want to shout out the members first. So I'm going to say shout out to Joe, Jerry, Donnell, Ty, and you if you become a member. Take it away, Joe.
And one more.
You got one more?
One more person.
Who is
the
that?
guy that's sitting right at top, right above you.
Oh, Dave, a member now?
Yes, he is.
When did he become a member?
Yesterday.
Oh, man, hold on. All right, go ahead. Y'all handle that.
So, welcome to the club, Dave. Superstar Club.
It feels good to be here. It feels good to be here.
You see what happens when you're not a member? You get left out. You don't understand what's going on. And I'm on the show, so you know what time I'm about to be on.
That's good.
Take it away.
New member coming up. But last but not least, before we start the debate, we got our guest on. Shout out to BWT, like Dave said. Teddy runs this baseball with Teddy. If you are a diehard fan, casual fan, somebody who just want to learn baseball, just tune in to BWT Baseball with Teddy to refuse to lose sports. And that's it, man. Last but not least, enjoy the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
Man, do I really want to do this right now? I just want to sit back and watch the show, man. But we want to bring my man. We got to bring AJ up first before we get into this star-studded debate that we got going on, man. Welcome to the show, AJ.
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Man, feeling good, man.
What's going on, AJ? How you doing? Thank you for rescheduling. I appreciate you.
Of course, man. I had to work it out so everybody can be in attendance, man. You know, I had to make that work out, man. You know, but it just worked too, like scheduling wise, because we had a game come up. We had the MLB playoffs or the MLB All-Star game that was on Tuesday.
Well,
so
shout out to MLB for scheduling the All-Star game for Tuesday.
right.
I appreciate you guys for that.
And also shout out to Dave and Carl for tuning in live doing a home run derby with Teddy. Shout out to them. All right. So, you know, hold up. One thing got where it go? Tomo, you got it? Where the sound effect at?
You want the baseball organ, man. Hold up.
Hey.
Hold up. Oh, I said it. I thought you were just gonna read it.
No, you good. All right, shout out to Kevo before we get started. Super chat came in. Shout out to Kevo. He said, first of all, $4.99 super chat. I'm just here to see LeBrick laid to rest. Hashtag Silence Bibby for eternity. Dang.
Man.
Hashtag R2L. Shout out to the IG chats for sparking all debates. Lastly, shout out to TK Sweets and Treats. Shout out to TK Sweets and Treats, y'all. Y'all want y'all sweets and treats? Hit up Kevo.
Well, that's a perfect segue. Thank you, Kev, because I needed a segue into this great debate. So you about to get a little bit of sweets and treats because you about to figure out who is actually the GOAT. You know, I said this behind the scenes, but I'm going to bring it to the show. This is going to be one of them debates that we may end up in somebody's group chat now as a clip saying, you see what my man said? Y'all tripping over there. This also may be one of the debates that they play in the barbershop and say, look, man, these youngins know something and they ready to teach y'all. I don't know who going to win. I don't know who going to lose, but just know these clips are going to live forever. So before we do this, are we doing rock, paper, scissors? Because we ain't got no coin.
Don't worry.
I'll give it to Joe. I'll give it to Joe first. I'll give it to Joe.
First.
Okay, so he want to say first.
So Joe's over here representing, you know, the 6'6", 216-pound, third overall pick from Wilmington, North Carolina. You know, he played 15 seasons in the league, Bulls and the Wizards. We're not going to act like he didn't play for the Wizards. He averaged over 30 points in his career, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Hold on, Tomo. It's our job.
Oh, I was giving I ain't giving the accolades.
Go ahead.
I'll let you about to empty his clip. You about to empty his
clip, right? You know what? He played for the Bulls and the Wizards, representing Michael Jordan. And on the other side, from Akron, Ohio, number 1 draft pick out of high school. You know, played 20 seasons for the Cavs, Lakers, and the Heat. I gotta say his stats too. I said Jordan's. I gotta say his too. Averaging 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and I'm gonna stop right there. LeBron James, man, AJ representing LeBron.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you said you're going first, Joe. Who's the GOAT? And tell us why.
All right. So look, let me get this out of the way. This is no slander towards LeBron. All right. People always think you gotta pick one, Jordan or LeBron. You gotta hate one, love the other. I don't dislike LeBron. Let me put that out there. I believe LeBron is the second best player of all time.
Stop the cap.
I like that, Tomo. I know that one day. So look, this is why Jordan's the GOAT. All right. Jordan dominated the NBA in winning, statistically, and he never had a meltdown. Ever. So when I look at winning, right? 6 rings, 6 Finals MVPs, right? LeBron 4-4. Okay, LeBron don't have that, right? I look at accolades individually. Jordan got 5 MVPs, LeBron got 4, Jordan got 10 scoring titles. LeBron got 1. He do got an assist title, but Jordan got 3 still champ titles. Also, Jordan, right? All NBA's first team, 9 all defense. All defensive team, which is tied for the most in NBA history. Right? Jordan played 15 years. In those 15 years, 2 were with the Wizards, and 2 he wasn't eligible because he broke his leg. I think he broke his foot in 1 year, and the other year he came back late. I remember that, right? In his 4 seasons as a Chicago Bulls, he was 10 times first team All NBA, 9 times first team All Defense. The only time he was second team was the one time when he was a rookie. So, and I look at also the meltdown part, right? Jordan never had a bad series ever in his career. Never had a bad series. I look at Jordan, right? Magic Johnson, another great player. He had tragic Johnson. Bird averaged 15 points, didn't win Finals MVP. Tim Duncan was a role player in the last NBA championship. Kobe averaged 22 against the Pistons in the finals. Wilt Chamberlain had 5 games scoring the 5 points. And we all know what happened to LeBron in 2011. I don't want to bring that up for us.
Not yet, right? Not yet, right?
So Jordan, that's how I'm gonna open my case. Jordan's the GOAT. AJ, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, listen, I understand the aura that is around MJ. Dave brought this up. He put it in the chat. He said, who y'all think got the greatest aura in sports history? And I didn't answer the question at the time because I didn't want to. But I knew the truth. The truth is Michael Jordan. He got this impenetrable, aura that can't nobody say nothing negative about. He's never had a meltdown. He's never done anything wrong. 6 or 6.
Stop the cap.
It is cap, but we'll get to that in a second. Went 6 or 6 in the finals, never went game 7 XYZ. He's just all the scoring titles, all the defense. We understand all that. But when we take the blinders off, when we really take a look at LeBron James' career compared to Michael Jordan's career, you will see who the GOAT is. So, we all know about LeBron's accolades. He's, number 1 all-time scorer. He's the youngest player to reach round number milestones in points, 1K, 2K, 3K, all the way up to 37,000. He's the only player in history to have 10K rebounds, 10K assists, 4th overall in assists, by the way, and to have over 30,000 points. 2nd all-time in field goals made. He holds the record for the most 20-point games or above. 4-time MVP, 19-time All-Star, which is, tied for the record with Kareem. 19-time All-NBA selections, NBA record. 13-time All-NBA first team, also an NBA record. And, 6 All-Defensive. And then, if we look at the playoffs, number 1 in games, number 1 in minutes, number 1 in points, number 2 in assists, number 10 in blocks, number 1 in steals, number 1 in field goals made, number 2 in 3-pointers, number 2 in 3 triple doubles, number 1 in 20-point games, 4-time champ, 4-time Finals MVP. 3 of those MVPs with 3 different teams. We know how that go. We know how that go. That's just a rundown of the accolades, right? Then we get down to the nitty gritty. I want to talk a little crunch time for a quick moment here. Crunch time LeBron in the playoffs, 7 for 12, which is 58% in his career on game tying and game winning attempts with 1 second left on the shot clock. For context, Kobe, Steph, KD, Kawhi, Harden, Russ, who we'll talk about him a little later too, because I want to touch on him for a hot second. Dirk, Wade, Duncan, Jokic, T-Mac, Nash, and other legends and MVPs within the same era are combined 6 of 50 within the same time frame. That's 12%, just for reference there. He also holds the most playoff game winners with 5. So I want to round it off by saying this, and I'm going to pitch it back to you, Joe. Right. Okay. So I got 5 reasons why I believe LeBron is the GOAT. Obviously, the statistics are, what they are. I got 5 reasons why I believe LeBron's the GOAT. Number 1, it's about the pressure and the expectations that LeBron had to deal with from the time he entered the league compared to Michael Jordan. LeBron entered the league fresh out of high school, was the chosen one, the king, right away expected to come in and be the savior for Cleveland, right? Michael Jordan was expected to be a good player, but not an amazing player. 3rd overall, he came out of college. He was expected to be good, but the microscope wasn't quite on Michael Jordan like that from the jump, like how it's been on LeBron. Some of that can be attributed to Michael Jordan and the example that he set. I give him credit. But either way, that pressure was not on Michael Jordan. So there's some clear differences there. And pressure bust pipes. We all know this. Most players can't deal with the type of pressure that LeBron dealt with. I'm not sure if Jordan could have dealt with the type of pressure that LeBron dealt with, but I'll get to that in a hot second. My second reason is this. Jordan had his bed made for him his entire career. College, Hall of Fame head coach. NBA, Hall of Fame head coach. Scottie Pippen, he had Dennis Rodman at one point. He had Tony Kukoc at one point. He had great shooting. He had defense. He had everything around him. The Chicago Bulls made sure that they surrounded him with talent. It didn't happen right away. They drafted Scottie. Scottie had to become, a bit of a better player. But at the same time, they made sure he was surrounded with the necessary talent from coaching down the players right away. Right away. Same can't be said for LeBron James. LeBron James had a head coach who in the NBA Finals was calling the same plays that he was calling against a head coach that he worked under, and Greg Popovich, literally calling the same exact plays. So Greg Popovich knew what he was running. It could game plan for them guys properly. Taking guys like Sasha Pavlovich and Daniel Boobie Gibson to the NBA Finals, always for the most part having a winning record. It's just there's differences there when it comes to just carrying a basketball team, right? And I'll dive deep into that in a little bit as well, but I want to get through the rest of these. Obviously, the longevity argument, I'm not going to spend too much time on the longevity because I already know Joe is going to try to attack every little accolade. That's longevity. But at the end of the day, even at going into year 20, averaging 30 points a game is ridiculous. I mean, Jordan retired twice, played 15 years. He couldn't get to year 20, and that's with 2 retirements. So let me get this straight. LeBron James was in the NBA before Michael Jordan, right? Was in the finals while Michael Jordan was getting bounced in the NCAA tournament. And then at 38, he comes back and is still better than Michael Jordan at an older age. Again, I'll dive into that a little later as well. Obviously, the physicals, Bron's bigger. He's stronger. He's just as fast, just as athletic. He can play the 1 through the 5. He can defend 1 through 5. So a very versatile defender. He shoots better from the field than Michael Jordan. He shoots better from 3 than Michael Jordan. He has more assists per game, more rebounds per game. Obviously, he ranks higher on those lists all time as well when it comes to total. And what was I want to say that. And the last thing I'll say really quick is this. We throw a lot of shade towards LeBron because of that era that he played in, right? Or that he's playing in, because it's a softer era than LeBron James. Same way people throw shade at Bill Russell because he dominated in an era that we don't think is great. But we don't talk about MJ's era that much. We talk about the physicality, but when we talk about that guard play, it's nowhere near the guard play that LeBron James has had to compete with. Pound for pound, at their peaks when it comes to players he has beat. You want to know the best player he's beat 1 through 3? Gary Payton. Clyde Drexler. He was okay. MVP season. He was straight, but he wasn't like that. Give me Gary Payton. He's not even the best player to ever play for the Blazers. As a matter of fact, LeBron arguably played and beat the best player to ever play for the Blazers. That's Damian Lillard. He did that a couple years back. So there's that. Magic, I don't count because he caught Magic at the very end of his career, right before he messed with a couple too many women. We know how that story goes, right? Magic was hurt that series. James Worthy, their leading scorer, was hurt that series. Byron Scott was hurt that series. A lot of things happened in that series, right? Is that my whistle? Yeah.
This was an opening monologue. You just went in on my man.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
He threw his whole argument out there.
I don't think he done.
That's a lot to unpack.
No, I got a ton of notes. All day doing these. So my bad. I didn't mean to go over.
Joe, before you go back, I just want to say shout out to the comments because the comments are going crazy already. So I already know this debate is about to be golden. Good points by both parties so far. Like Trump say, this good people on both sides. So I like this debate. So continue.
All right, pressure. Why are we talking about pressure? What they got to do with the GOAT debate? I mean, okay, he came with pressure. Did he fall under pressure ever in his career? Yes, he did. So let's not talk about pressure. All right, you say he had help from the start, all right? That's not true. You said LeBron was asked to be the savior in Cleveland, so was Jordan with Chicago Bulls. What had the Bulls done before Jordan got there? Nothing. Jordan first year there, what he do with the Bulls? Took them to the playoffs. What LeBron do his first year with the Cavs? Nothing. They made the playoffs. So
I'll take it though.
When it comes to help, I heard you mention coaching. All right, is Eric Spoelstra a good coach?
Yes.
It's a great coach.
Is Ty Lue a good coach?
Yes.
What was Phil Jackson before Jordan?
He didn't win. Well, I think he was a great NBA player from if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
but not a great coach. I'll give you that.
He was a role player. What? And then Phil Jackson, soon he left Chicago, he got Kobe and Shaq. What has he done when it was only Kobe without Shaq? Nothing. First round exit. He had a monster team, and that's the only time he won when he had great players. So I'm not trying to discount Phil Jackson, but it's not act like Phil Jackson made Jordan. All right? And we could easily say Jordan made Phil Jackson, just like you might say LeBron made Eric Spoelstra and LeBron made Ty Lue. So let's say that story right there. Also, you mentioned Tony Kukoc. Can we not talk about help when it comes to Jordan and LeBron? Scottie Pippen, right? I'm glad you brought up Scottie Pippen. Everybody always say Jordan hasn't won a series without Scottie Pippen. I just want to remind people, when Jordan won his first playoff series, exactly what happened. Against the Cavaliers, his first series, Jordan needed Scottie. Jordan averaged 45 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.8 steals, 1 block. Scottie Pippen averaged 10 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 8 steals, 1 block. And he needs Scottie Pippen. But let me remind you what LeBron had as far as help. Because I don't try to discredit who you had. That's not my debate. But you brought it to the table. I don't want to talk about your help, all that stuff. But let's talk about what LeBron did. LeBron James. This is funny. He got Dwayne Wade. Do y'all know before Dwayne Wade got with LeBron James, he was an NBA champion, Finals MVP, 5-time All-NBA player. His last 2 years before LeBron came, he was first team All-NBA both of those years and second team All-Defense right before LeBron showed up. Has Scottie Pippen ever done anything I just said? No. Chris Bosh, 24-10, the year before LeBron picked him up. All-NBA player. And the last 2 seasons before joining LeBron, he was an all-star. But he ain't had no help. Kyrie Irving, his last 2 years before LeBron went back to Cleveland, he was an all-star. He won all-star MVP the year before LeBron came. All-star MVP. And Kevin Love, 26-12, right before LeBron showed up. Second team All-NBA. And do I got to talk about Anthony Davis? Before AD came to LeBron, the year before he came, he was 26, 9, and 2 blocks. 3-time block leader, 3-time first team All-NBA, and 3-time 3-time All-Defense, 1-time first team. This is before joining LeBron James. But LeBron didn't have more help? Yeah, come on, AJ. I can't give you that. So in my opinion, LeBron had more help. Yes, he had Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen had to develop to that player. How he developed to that player? He played with Michael Jordan. Tony Kukoc, he was a good role player. Yes, he was a good role player, but he was not Dwayne Wade. He was not Chris Bosh. He was not Kevin Love. He was not Kyrie Irving. He wasn't even part of, I ain't gonna go that far. But let's keep moving. What else you saying?
Where'd I whistle at?
Oh, hold on. No, you
it was your opening.
I'm sorry.
That's the only reason I gotta let him rock a little bit, man.
I got
I
you.
hope it was a little long, my guy. You go ahead.
The only reason.
I'm just messing around.
Also, you said LeBron was in the finals while Jordan was getting bounced in college, right? Why do we reward people for making it to the finals? Everybody has Oscar Robertson over Jerry West. But do you know Jerry West went to the finals 9 times and Oscar Robertson went 1 time? They both got 1 ring. Jerry West went 9 times. Robinson went 1 time, but yet you'll put Oscar Robertson over Jerry West. Why are we rewarding LeBron James for losing in the finals? Did you win or not? That's all I want to know. Also, you said he's more versatile. You said he can guard all 5 positions. If he's so versatile as a defender, why are you only 6-team All-Defense in 21 years? That's what I want to know. How did Jordan get more first team All-Defense, second team, whatever you want to put? You could take Jordan's first team and take all of LeBron's teams All-Defense. LeBron played 5 more years in Jordan, and he still don't have as much as Jordan. So let's not talk about the defense when it comes to LeBron James. All right? Shoot better than Jordan. I mean, he do have a better percentage. So does Carmelo. So does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. LeBron is a 4. He plays in the paint way more than Jordan. Jordan shoots way more jump shots. So he better have a better field goal percentage. Do you know Michael Jordan is he has the second highest field goal percentage in any shooting guard in NBA history? And the guy who has a higher percentage than him was a role player. So he wasn't even a high volume shooter. Can I say the same thing about LeBron James and small forward? No, I can't. Also, all right. Do your thing.
Stop it. Get some help.
Do your thing. Do your
Was
thing,
he? Oh,
man.
he's still.
No, it's
We
on
good?
you. Yeah, it's on you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good, man.
it's on you, my guy.
Okay, so the first thing I want to respond to is the LeBron help conversation. So we bring up these stars, right? And it's always, look at Anthony Davis, it's the name. Look at D Wade, it's the name. Look at Kyrie, it's the name. That's what it really is. Because in the grand scheme of things, Anthony Davis, for the most part, then gave us one, maybe two healthy seasons. For the most part, he's been one of the most unreliable superstars that LeBron has played with. Kyrie Irving, who is not top 75, and I will get to that in a second. Kyrie Irving, who's not top 75, missed basically a whole playoff series in 2015 because he hurt himself, left LeBron by himself. Kevin Love also got hurt that final series, but that's a conversation for another day. D Wade was D Wade for 2 years with LeBron James in the 4 years that was there. After that, 15 points a game in the finals. I think another series, it was 17 points in the finals. Dave, you looking like that, you know it's true. You know it's true. The knee injury started to get to D Wade, and D Wade was not himself down the stretch of those finals runs. And that's just the facts. So we talk about LeBron's help, and he's got all of these players and this, that, and the third. In the grand scheme of things, what difference do it make if that player is nowhere near 100% and not playing, either not 100% or not even available to play? That's number one. Number two, did y'all know that LeBron James has 20 playoff series W's without a top 75 player? 20. That's the years with the Cavs. That's the early years with the Cavs. That's the 2018 year. That's 20 playoff series. If you want to say, well, you can't include Kyrie in that conversation because Kyrie got snubbed, I actually agree with you. I think Kyrie should be top 75. He damn sure played like a top 75 player in the NBA Finals in 2016. Guess how many times LeBron James has been to or advanced in the playoffs without Kyrie Irving? 10 times still without a top 75 player. So that shows you right then and there. LeBron James is known for carrying teams. So I come to this point right here. He talks about, why do we glorify LeBron James making it to the finals? I'll tell you why we glorify LeBron James making it to the finals. It's because, one, he carries teams to the finals that shouldn't be there. That 2014 team, and I know y'all gonna debate it, but that 2014 Miami Heat team with D Wade looking the way he looked for the vast majority of the playoff series should not have made it to the finals. That 07 team, dang sure shouldn't have made it to the finals. That might be arguably the worst team he's ever played with. That 2018 team, dang sure shouldn't have went to the finals. I don't think Michael Jordan takes any of those teams to the NBA Finals, and he damn sure don't win any of them either. Why? Because in the course of his career, he has never shown without a top 75 player on his roster, he can win anything. Matter of fact, he can't even get out of the first round without a top 75 player. So we got to talk about that. Jordan never had any meltdowns. That's what he said earlier. I made sure I jotted that down. Jordan has never had any meltdowns. Interesting. Never. Last time I checked, 1989. You know, I had to go back because Jordan, his days way back when, right? So 1989 against the Pistons, averaged 30 points a game through the first 3 games of the series, went up 2-1. And then the Pistons start clamping down on defense, knocked them to the floor a couple times. They lost the series with him going down, averaging 22 points the rest of that series. That's not a meltdown? Okay, that might not be a meltdown to y'all. Okay, let's look at 1993 then. Eastern Conference Finals, right? Against the Knicks. Jordan started off that series shooting 25% from the field in that series. Went down 2-0. In game 3, shot 3 of 18 from the field. Was on the verge of going down 3-0, and then the team picked up the slack. Scottie Pippen, the guy that a lot of people throw a lot of shade at, 29 points, carried them guys to victory and got them back in the series. And I'm not done with Jordan's meltdowns. We're not done yet. 1996 NBA Finals, right? They go up 3-0. Jordan balling, doing this thing, right? Here come the glove. Jordan goes from averaging 31 points a game to all of a sudden 23 points a game, shooting 36% from the field. And you would think, right? Because they came back, the Sonics came back and won 2 games and extended it to 6 games. And Michael Jordan, the guy who never went to game 7 in the NBA Finals, I'm thinking he dominated game 6 and closed the deal. You want to know what his stat line looked like? 5 of 19 from the field, shooting 26%. His teammates, the Chicago Bulls, carried him the way. So I want to talk about this NBA Finals thing real quick because
Hold on. You got the meltdown. We're gonna let Joe go, and then we're gonna talk about the finals.
Okay, my
All
bad.
Then we good. We got to chop these up.
I'm getting carried away. I'm sorry.
It's good, but we got to
I
AJ.
gotta say this though. This is probably the best Jordan LeBron debate I've ever heard. Ever.
Hold on. All right, Dave. We're going on time limit. All right, look. Look, AJ. If we're gonna talk about Kyrie not being top 75, right? LeBron has never. All right, how about this? How many teams did Jordan had 2 top 75 players and didn't make the playoffs? How many times that ever happened? Is Westbrook top 75?
Yes.
Is AD top 75?
Yes, he is.
Did they miss the playoffs?
Yes, they did that year.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
So we can't give LeBron credit for carrying top 75, no top 75 player, which he never won a championship without a top 75 player. Well,
he did.
I guess he did 2016. He did. I give you that. And then not talk about the times when he had top 75 players and it didn't work out. Like a la last year. Last year didn't work out. The year before that didn't work out. Also, you keep talking about LeBron James' 2014 team that went to the finals. The only finals run I'll give you is a 07 finals. 07 finals. That's the only run I'll give you. Every other run, who do he come across on the way there? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about all LeBron finals appearances.
So 2018, he was supposed to get to the finals with that team?
Hold on. Because one thing you mentioned, Jordan has never played any guard play. I mean, you mentioned LeBron's guard play. Is LeBron a guard or a forward?
He's a forward, but can play all 5.
Name a small forward that he had to run into in the East on the way to the finals.
2018, he had to go against, well, they was young JT and
rookie JT. Rookie.
Yeah, they was young. They was ballers though. They was young, but they was ballers. Victor Oladipo was also a man on a mission that year too.
And you're gonna talk about Clyde Drexler. Don't bring up Oladipo.
And that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. But I want to. You asked the question. I want to respond to the question.
Go ahead.
That 2018 run that you brought up in the conference finals, LeBron had 235 points, right? So
hold on, AJ. I get you. With LeBron there, what did he do? I got that. I'm talking about give me the people he had to run through because you said they weren't supposed to make it to the finals. Give me the people he had to run through to get to that finals.
My point isn't the people he has to run through. My point is what he has to work with to get there. You still have to have a team to get there.
Normally, he would not carry those teams to the finals. Jordan won carry those teams. When Jordan was losing to, if y'all don't know, Sidney Moncrief, who's a 2-time defensive player of the year, who won 59 games that year when they beat Jordan, against Larry Bird, who went to the finals that year. Both times he beat Jordan. And also, who else he lost to? Detroit, who went to back-to-back finals. He didn't go against an Oladipo-led Pacers. He didn't go against a Jason Tatum-led Boston Celtics. He didn't go against a who else he beat that year? Atlanta Hawks, who never did nothing they whole freaking franchise. Like that's those who the guys LeBron went against in the East. I'm not going to discredit LeBron, but don't sit here and discredit Jordan like LeBron had a hard, tough road to the finals. Jordan played with that's another thing. So let's talk about it. Go ahead. Who did he go through? He went to Oladipo. What is Oladipo? Right now, he with Miami Heat.
Oladipo not rated that high. No,
OKC now. He got traded. But
he had a good year that year, but I'll give you that.
Okay, let's go back to 2014. Who they beat in 2014? They beat
the Pacers was nice that year.
Huh?
The Pacers was nice that year.
Was Paul George anybody you try to kill Jordan about? Like Clyde Drexler?
Of course not.
No. At that time, no, Paul George wasn't even a superstar at the time. He was on a rise. Miami Heat was clearly better than the Pacers. They should never win 7 games with the Pacers. They were a good defensive team, but Paul George was an all-star. He was not on LeBron's level at all. So go ahead.
I just want to say I see people in the chat saying he trying to think. I'm not trying to think. They right here. I'm just waiting to actually respond to what he's saying. So
okay.
y'all don't come for me like that, bro. Don't come for me. But go ahead.
He went with Paul George. He went against Paul George in Miami. He went against who else? He went against the Boston Celtics, which is similar to the Detroit Pistons that y'all always try to kill. They so old. We can say the same thing about Boston Celtics, but I'm not going to do that to you. He beat Boston. All right. Who else they beat?
I believe they played Atlanta in the first round. I can't quite recall off the top of my head.
Paul Millsap, Atlanta Hawks. Led by Paul Millsap. Come on, man. Like that's my thing. Like LeBron, you were that's why I'm saying we were rewarding him for all these finals runs. But who has he really beaten on the way to those finals?
Because
He
it's
hasn't
not.
beaten no juggernaut. And in the Detroit Pistons, he beat in 07. They even had Bill Wallace, who was the X factor to their whole squad defensively. They even had Ben Wallace that year. So I'll give you that one, though.
You can say that. You can say those things, and all those things can be true. But when we look at the numbers and how these numbers broke down, like LeBron being the leading scorer, leading assist, leading rebound guy throughout the entire series, and then the next Cavs player is number 7 on the list. The series against the Eastern Conference Finals 2018, Bron, 235 points. The next Cavs player you see is Kevin Love with 75 points. You look at the first round series, LeBron, 241 points. The next Cavs scorer is Kevin Love with 60 points. In between those are all Pacers players. In between those are all Celtics players. My point is this. I understand that you're trying to say he didn't go through nobody, and Jordan didn't either, might I add, and we'll get to that in a second. Don't worry, I'll get to it in a second. But my point is this. At the end of the day, these teams had pretty solid regular seasons. The Celtics did that year. Who else? The Pacers did that year. The Raptors, who I know nobody's gonna give him credit for, I understand, because he literally dominated them guys like something we never seen. Even though they was the number seed in the Eastern Conference at the time, made them boys look like it was the 4 of us on the court. At the end of the day, when you have nobody to work with, there's a reason why the series against the Pacers went 7 games, because it's literally LeBron. The series against what was that?
Can I ask you a question?
Wait, no, I want to finish. Give me one hot.
Go ahead.
I just had this last part to say. It's the reason why that Celtics series went 7 games. Brian came out, was kind of trying to fill it out game 1. He came out in game 2, had 30, 40 points. They still lost by like 20 some odd points. Similar thing was happening in the first round against the Pacers. Those teams were overall better than LeBron James led teams, for sure. Otherwise, if they weren't, them series wouldn't have went 7 games, but they did. And it took heroics the entire playoff run to get them guys to the finals.
Okay. So look, has Jordan ever lost a series he was favored in?
No.
Jordan has never lost a series when he had a better seed. Did we witness LeBron do that?
Correct. Once.
So we can't praise LeBron for carrying all these teams to the finals and act like if he had a team, he would have ran the table. We saw him have the team in Miami, and in the first year, he folded. You talk about Jordan, you picking game. I said Jordan never had a meltdown series. That's what I said. Series. A meltdown series? A meltdown series is what LeBron James did against Dallas. That's a meltdown series. We never seen LeBron Jordan do nothing like that. Jordan always showed up in every series. He might have had a bad game or two. He might have shot bad from the field. I'm not going to kill LeBron if he goes 1 for 22, but I'm going to kill LeBron if he goes 1 for 5, 1 for 6, 1 for 8. You're not even taking a shot. You let Jason Terry outscore you the whole series? So, that's a meltdown, and that's people have bad games, but a meltdown series is different. And Jordan never had a bad series.
Can I respond to that?
Go.
So just like you said, we've seen LeBron as a favorite lose, right? We've also seen LeBron as a favorite win, right?
Well, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
we've seen LeBron. Right? We've seen LeBron as an underdog win, right?
Yes.
Have we ever seen Jordan as an underdog win anything?
Did Jordan when LeBron won?
No. Has he?
You talking about a championship?
Tomo.
Space Jam. He was an underdog.
You talking about a championship or a series? Which one? A championship or a series?
I'm talking about championships.
Did Jordan ever? He was never an underdog in a championship. My bad. You won against Jordan. The reason why LeBron was underdogs because he was proven guilty when he went to Miami and lost the first time. The second time around, he's going to be an underdog. That's how it works. This is how it works. He was not an underdog against the Mavericks. My whole thing is, AJ, you're praising LeBron for doing this, but you acting like he didn't do this. That's what I'm telling you. I'm praising Jordan for this, and you can't show me this. You can't show me. You show me a couple of games. You keep talking about he didn't know about Scottie Pippen. What did Scottie Pippen do in that series when he so-called needed Scottie Pippen? What did he do?
Which series are we talking about?
So you said he hasn't won nothing without Scottie Pippen. What did Scottie Pippen do to contribute to that win in that first series he had? Jordan, you talking about LeBron carried them. Jordan carried them. He averaged 41 that series.
Which 41. Series are we talking
about? The first one he ever won. You said he hasn't won anything without Scottie Pippen. And I'm telling you, in his first series that he won, he averaged 41 points when Scottie Pippen averaged 10 points. So we can't say that. We can't. That's a statement that gets thrown out there without context. like when you
But
give it
that-
a context, he didn't really need Scottie Pippen.
But
Scottie Pippen needed him.
But in comparison, when we compare him to a guy like LeBron James, that context matters when we seen him do it without a talent the likes of a Scottie Pippen. Like Scottie Pippen took time to develop into what Scottie Pippen took time to develop into what he was, but he still became what he was and helped Jordan win 6 championships. At the end of the day,
AJ, did we see LeBron win without a player like Scottie Pippen?
yes, we did.
Kyrie Irving is not a great player.
He not top 75, and I'd rather take Scottie.
Why is Scottie Pippen top 75?
I'd rather take Scottie.
Why is Scottie Pippen top 75?
Scottie top 50.
Why is he top 50?
What you mean? Because he's a great two-way player. Can score the ball, can defend at a high level.
He never won Defensive Player of the Year. Never won Defensive Player of the Year in his life. Never won the MVP. Never won nothing but probably a couple of All-NBA teams, a couple of All-Defense. He's a top 50 player because he won championships. That's the only reason why he's a top 50 player.
I mean,
without those rings, he would not be a top 50 player.
It's a lot of players that wouldn't be that.
My point is, you're using that top 50 player when Jordan had something to do with it. That's what my point. Kyrie Irving. Go ahead.
Of course. I'm not saying that Scottie carried the team, but he played a hell of a role in helping them. Like to try to ignore.
They carried the game in the shot.
To try to ignore Scottie Pippen's contributions to the team. He started off slow, yes, but to try to ignore his contributions to the team, like he wasn't taking some of the best defensive assignments, like he wasn't stepping up in games, or Jordan wasn't playing to the base of his capability, like he wasn't an MVP caliber player the moment Jordan decided to retire and had his team in the playoffs winning 56 games without Jordan on the basketball floor. Like that stuff did happen. That stuff.
Who is this guy?
Scottie Pippen showed that without Michael Jordan, I could still be a really good player. I can
what about Dwayne Wade?
Caliber player. Hold on, let me finish. I can still be an MVP caliber player. I can still win a lot of basketball games. I can still get a team to the postseason. He even made this is just me throwing something out here because I know it's not really relevant, but he even went on a little bit of a playoff run with the Blazers, just showing that he could be a member of a champion, or not, they ain't win a championship, but a playoff contending team. I give him that. Look at a guy like Phil Jackson. You bring up, he only won because he had Shaq and Kobe and all this other stuff. You did say that earlier.
I said
he had Shaq and Kobe, and then he had Kobe.
What did he do without the only reason why he won? Like, all right, my whole thing is this.
Who was Phil Jackson before?
First, I want to say this.
Yeah.
I never discredit Scottie Pippen. You said LeBron won with players with like that wasn't good as Scottie Pippen. That's what you said. And I'm telling you, he had players better than Scottie Pippen. D-Wade is better than Scottie Pippen.
I'm not sure Kyrie Irving.
You talking about injury? You talking about injury? 1998. What was Scottie Pippen 1998 when Jordan won the championship? What was Scottie Pippen?
I mean, Scottie Pippen had 27 the game before Game 6, and then he had a bad back in the final game of the series, but he had 27 to help them get to where they was.
And then D-Wade averaged 26 in the final against the Mavericks. Where was LeBron?
See, that's your trump card. You keep on going back.
It happened.
And I understand. And listen, I get that. You could bring up that series all you want to, but I can't stand when Jordan fans bring up that series, but don't bring up all the mishaps he happened or give him excuses for his mishaps. Like those mishaps didn't happen. Like the series that I just brought up against the Knicks, against the Pistons, against the Suns. Like, making me lose my train of thought. Oh, I just lost my thought process. Just that quick.
I want you to talk about the competition because you brought that up. It's 751. You say you want to bring up a competition about Jordan.
Yes, I want to bring up the competition because when you look at the competition that LeBron has gone against, a lot of the reason why he's lost in the NBA Finals is because of the competition that he's going up against in the NBA Finals. You go up against the Golden State Warriors 73-win team. You go up and he beat that team. You going up against the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. You're not beating that team. I don't care who you are in the history of the game. You're not beating that basketball team. You're going up against the San Antonio Spurs in 07 with the team that you had. You're not beating the Spurs with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Greg Popovich coaching when your head coach is calling the same exact plays as he called before with Greg Popovich. It's not going to happen. Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs are too smart for that. And then again in 2014, you going up against the San Antonio Spurs again with D-Wade, half of himself, going up against prime Tim Duncan, prime Ginobili, prime Tony Parker, a great, I won't say it was quite his prime yet, but a very close to prime Kawhi Leonard on that basketball team. And
Hold on, whoa. You said Ginobili in his prime, Parker in his prime, and Duncan in his prime.
They was
in Miami?
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Top of their games.
Go ahead.
Them guys were still hooping at the top of their games compared to what LeBron had to work with in those finals. I'll give you the Mavs series. You don't want to talk about the Pistons, how he lost to the same team. That was the other meltdown I was going to bring up. How he lost to the same team 3 times. You don't want to bring that stuff up. You don't want to talk about the fact that he never beat Larry Bird. You never want to talk about that. And then the competition aspect of things, when I brought up a guy like Gary Payton, the man I just feel like Michael Jordan never really had to overcome anything for real.
He beat the Detroit team.
Let me get this point off. Let me get this point off. The Boston Celtics, he lost to every single time he matched up with them in the playoffs. Okay, fine. He lost to them every single year he played them. He went and played the Bad Boy Pistons. He lost to the Bad Boy Pistons 3 times. By the time he beat the Bad Boy Pistons was old, and their best player was injured in Isaiah Thomas. That is the honest truth. It's a fact. By the time he beat the Pistons, them boys was done. They was cooked. He had 2-3 years left in the NBA.
What about when LeBron beat the Boston Celtics?
What was that?
What about when LeBron beat the Boston Celtics?
When I brought up the 2014 run, I didn't bring up the Celtics. I brought up the Pacers.
Because LeBron couldn't overcome them. He lost to them and he left. He lost to Boston twice and he rolled out and went to a young team and ran against them twice.
He still overcame them guys, though. Just like he overcame the Warriors, he still ended up beating those guys.
And Jordan overcame Detroit. That's my point. You didn't give Jordan no credit for beating Detroit, but you just gave LeBron credit overcoming the Celtics. The same thing.
Because he played the Celtics in their primes. He played the Celtics when they were still at the top of their games.
When he beat them?
The Pistons, but by the time he played the Pistons, and y'all don't, again, it's the aura. I understand. By the time he beat the Pistons were not what they were the first 3 years that they played. That is a fact. When your best player in Isaiah Thomas is not healthy and talks about it all the time, he had a messed up wrist the entire series.
This man crybaby. That's what he is.
Plays a part. So when I get to the level of competition, I look at this and say this: Michael Jordan's best opponent that he actually beat at the top of their games in their prime was Gary Payton, who I highlighted earlier how he actually struggled against Gary Payton. LeBron James, on the other hand, I think Steph Curry's better than Gary Payton. I think Steph Curry's better than any guard that Jordan had to face his entire career. I also think KD is better than any player that he had to face in his entire career. You could make the argument Kawhi is. You could throw Truth in that conversation. I'm a fan of Truth. I think you could throw him in that conversation. He has played higher quality competition than Michael Jordan did. Higher quality competition. And he caught the guys he was supposed to run through, he caught it at the end of their careers.
All right, hold on, AJ. All right. I don't like when people try to compare talent from eras. In today's NBA is way more resources. They got people like Jordan to go look at. They got AAU. They got all this stuff going on nowadays where they didn't have back then. Because you could take the 7th man of today's NBA and he would be a great player in the 1960s. But we're not going to do that. So let's talk about the era. And you talking about they had, because I remember early in your conversation, your debates, you talked about how respected LeBron opponents had in the regular season, right? Let's go through Jordan Finals opponents. Do you know in 91, the Lakers won 58 games that year? They won 58 games. They were the 3rd best team in the league. Magic Johnson was an all-NBA player that year. So was James Worthy. Jordan was the only all-NBA player on the team. Scottie was an all-NBA that year.
So were they healthy when they played?
The role players went after you, right? But look.
James Worthy was their leading scorer. He's not a role player.
He's always been the leading scorer. James Worthy got hurt. So my honest opinion, listen. Do you really think the Lakers would have beat the Bulls that year?
What was that?
Do you think the Lakers would have beat? So you want to take away Jordan's ring for that?
All I'm saying, I'm not taking away his ring. I'm saying in comparison.
Okay. Let's wipe that one off. Cool. All right. 5 rings, still more than LeBron. So let's talk about the 5 rings. In 92, right? He went against the Blazers. The Blazers won 57 games that year. They had the 2nd best record in the league behind you know who, the Bulls. All NBA. Jordan was all NBA. So was Scottie, 3rd team all NBA, and Clyde was all NBA. Clyde was a great player that year. He had 26 a game. He was the 2nd best shooting guard in the league, and Jordan killed him. In 93, and these players will be so elevated, but Jordan was in the way. Charles Barkley was a legit player, but he's not elevated because he never won. He never won. Charles Barkley, that year he played Jordan, they won 62 games. Charles Barkley was the MVP. Did you know that Mark Price and Charles Barkley were both first team All-NBA? First team All-NBA. Scottie Pippen was third team. Jordan was first team. Jordan wiped them out in 6 games. I think he averaged like 42 points a game, the most points averaged in a playoff series, in NBA Finals series. So you got to do what you got to do. In 93, in 96, Gary Payton won 6. Jordan won 72 games. Gary Payton won 64 games. 64 games. Gary Payton was a defensive player of the year. George Karl was a coach of the year. Right? They had 2 All-NBA players. Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. Jordan beat them. Jordan the Bulls, because you want to throw your little stuff, man. Listen, this had nothing to do with debate. I honestly think Jordan wanted to win that last game on Father's Day because his father had died that previous summer. I honestly thought he wanted, but that's another story. And then the teams y'all always downplay, the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone could easily be in the conversation as the second best power forward in NBA history. Bruh. The only reason why, you think I'm serious? The only reason why he's not is because Jordan was in the way. Jordan was in the way. That Utah Jazz, arguably, at the time, had the best power forward, arguably, in NBA history, and the best point guard, arguably, in NBA, the second best behind Magic Johnson, arguably, in NBA history at that time. And then Jordan beat them back-to-back years when they won 64 games, 98, and then in 98, they won 62 games. Do you know Karl Malone was the first team All-NBA and first team All-Defense and was an MVP, and Jordan beat them? Y'all downplay that team so much. That same team swept Shaq Lakers. Same team beat Hakeem Olajuwon that same year. Jordan showed up, beat them in 6. When Scottie Pippen having a bad back. So we can't down. And then we're going to go with LeBron opponents. OKC, 47 wins. Baby OKC. 47 wins, third best record in the league. LeBron and D-Wade were all NBA. KD and Russ was all NBA. Okay, that's a wash, I guess. In 2012, Spurs won 58 games. LeBron and D-Wade all NBA. Duncan and Tony Parker. Tony Parker, really? They beat the Spurs. 2016, I'll give you that. Great job. Beat the 73-win team. But don't forget, you ain't talk about 2020, though. My bad, Dave. You ain't talk about 2020 when they talk about opponents. Do you know Miami Heat won 44 games that year? Miami Heat was tied with 4 teams with the 8th best record in the whole NBA that year. That was the weakest opponent out of all of them. But you ain't bring that up, though. You want to bring up the 73-9 But you don't want to bring up that, though. And then my last point is this. You keep talking about Steph Curry. You keep talking about all these guards. Give me the forwards that LeBron had to run through and beat. He beat KD when he was young. Yeah, I give you that. Who else did he beat? That was at his level. You give me guards. Jordan beat bigs. He beat Shaq. He beat Patrick Ewing. He beat Karl Malone. He beat great players.
He beat these guys, but did he have to match up with any of them dudes?
Who did LeBron have to match up with that he had to beat?
KD is better than any player that you listed. KD as a head-to-head matchup.
Yes,
KD
because
is better. Hold on.
Go ahead.
KD as a head-to-head matchup is a much better opponent than anybody that you just mentioned. A lot of the players, the bigs that you mentioned, because that era was dominated by bigs, which is why I focus on the guard play. A lot of that era was predicated towards the bigs. You had Rodman for some of them bigs. You had Scotty for some of them bigs. Jordan was matching up trying to defend the bigs. The Chicago Bulls was an organization that made sure Jordan had one basketball role. Outside of that one basketball role that he had, anything else was a bonus. We all know what that role was. Score the basketball. Bron, on the other hand, has been responsible for everything. He's led his teams. I forgot to list this earlier. The man literally has led his team in points and assists every year but 1 year in his entire career. The man is known for doing it all on the basketball court.
So with James Harden.
Yes, he can go and do it, but James Harden ain't got 4 rings. James Harden ain't got 4 rings. So, and by the way, since you brought up 2020, Bron also did defeat James Harden and Russell Westbrook on the way to the finals. He also beat Dame that year, who's a better player than Clyde Drexler.
Is he a better player than AD?
He's better than Clyde Drexler.
Is he better than AD? LeBron had the 2 best players on his team that whole playoff run. What are you talking about? AD
He
was
still had it tough. That's still a tough playoff run to go through. Dame was playing at an elite
Dame
level.
by himself.
The Houston Rockets was the most had the highest offensive percentage the entire playoff run. The Denver Nuggets was a very solid team with Jokic and Murray at the time.
They weren't
Fully
even
healthy. Came back
my
from
gosh.
2-3-1 deficits. Like that stuff. They try to. I look at LeBron's finals opponents. Most of those finals opponents will wipe the floor clean when anybody that you bring up that Jordan faced in the finals. And I mean wipe the floor clean. You talk about that young OKC team.
AJ, you can't do that. Like, why are you comparing talent for talent? Why are you doing that when like there are disadvantages for Jordan's era? Did they have a Michael Jordan to go look at?
So how many times have we talked down on a player because of the error? That's the
I
thing.
never did that. That's not me.
Listen. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you didn't say this. You didn't say this. I'm just saying in general. So many times LeBron fans have heard the game is softer nowadays. The game is different. The numbers are inflated. All it is.
But AJ, can I step in real quick? Just to say this. I don't think that matters in this debate. This is between the two of you. This is how you two think. So I don't think what people are saying outside of it really matters at this moment. I think you're making some really great points with LeBron. I think you really are. But as far as this debate, I say you just keep it between how you two think right now, because it's between you two.
Real quick. Like
this is on fire.
This is my thing right here, AJ. This is my thing with LeBron. People who think LeBron to go, right? Y'all never talk about what actually happened. Y'all try to discredit everything Jordan does, but overhype everything LeBron does. Your whole argument is based on overvaluing what LeBron did and undervaluing what Jordan did versus just talk about what they did. Let's talk about that for once. Like, we haven't even talked about what they actually did. You're just discrediting everything Jordan did. That's what you're doing. He had Scottie Pippen. He had his coach. He didn't go against good competition, but LeBron had no competition. Okay, what happened?
We comparing two players, Joe. That's
okay, but can we talk about what actually happened?
We are.
Because
listen, that's the thing, Joe. When we bring up things that actually happen, like him losing to the Pistons, like him struggling against the Sonics and him struggling against the Knicks, that get brushed over. Well, what actually happened? Those things happen when any time. And you started off by saying this. I don't want to discredit LeBron, and I feel the same way about Michael Jordan. I think he's the second greatest player ever. But my thing is this. You said what?
I said stop the cap. Go ahead.
Listen, at the end of the day, whenever you're comparing players, a part of comparing players is comparing their eras, comparing what they have to. It was the same thing in the AJ Brown conversation. Everybody wants to dismiss. You compare their eras, you compare what they had to work with, you compare what they did, and you compare it to the other player you're comparing to. You talked about LeBron James, or you talked about Michael Jordan's accolades. I talked about LeBron James' accolades. They both have crazy statistics and accolades. So you got to dig deep into it, like how you digged into the Mavs series, like you digged into meltdowns that LeBron did. I'm going to do the same thing with Michael Jordan. The man wasn't perfect. The man did lose. The man had bad moments in the playoffs. The man did not always step up. Now, to his credit, when they felt like Scottie Pippen was good enough, and when the Pistons was just about ready to get beat, and when the Lakers was just out of their prime, yeah, he slid in there and dominated the era that was dominated by bigs. None of the bigs he had to guard, and he just took over. And I give him that. But it's different when, in LeBron James' case, in most of these playoff series, you looking at a guy face-to-face, they either play your same position that's really good. I'm talking better than Clyde Drexler, or you're playing a loaded team, and you look beside you and half your dudes is hurt. Anytime, for the most part, Scottie Pippen, migraine game. It's over. They're going to lose this series. The only time he got through that was he had the back injury in 98. He didn't play well in that final game. Up until that point, Scottie Pippen was on the floor and playing effectively.
Nobody say he wasn't. AJ, I only bring up stuff when you try to discredit. Your first stop, you talk about all this longevity stats, and then you start killing how Jordan ever is, how Jordan is, and now he responded by saying, if we're going to talk about Jordan, don't forget about this. I don't try to kill LeBron with that. Hold on, Tom, real quick. All right, let me just say this. All right,
he gonna just cut me off.
Sorry, Tombo.
It's gonna be quick. No, it's gonna be quick. I just want to say this. Hey, this segment of Refuse to Lose is brought to you by the members. So, hey, y'all see what's going on here? You want to join these chats? This is a golden debate. This is exactly what happened. Kev told y'all earlier, hit the like button. I just had to get the business out the way, Joe. Make
So
sure
look.
I put that link in the description.
This is the greatest debate I've ever been a part of. I just got to say this.
So look, AJ,
AJ, you gotta bring your Robin too.
I want to ask you a few questions.
Bro,
right?
Tomo, be quiet. Be quiet.
All right, look, AJ, how in the world, right? LeBron James played 6 more years in Jordan, but has less rings, less Finals MVPs, less. You can't talk about teams with this. Less MVPs, less Defensive Player of the Years, less all first team all defense. He gonna have more All NBAs because he played 20 daggone years. Obviously, you gonna have more All NBAs.
A way to discredit.
No,
AJ,
I
hold
give
on.
LeBron longevity.
I got one thing to say about LeBron as far as Defensive Player of the Year. I will say this though.
Go ahead.
The year that Marc Gasol
Mhm.
won Defensive Player of the Year, there was a big argument that LeBron James deserved it that year.
Why? Let's talk about that. Why?
They said that he defensively played a lot.
I know AJ wanted to bring that up. AJ, why did LeBron James not win Defensive Player of the Year?
I didn't bring that up. That was Dave's point. I want Dave to finish this. I thought LeBron was a much better defender, and I believe he's been robbed of some MVPs as well. I believe, but that's not to discredit Jordan, because I believe both Michael Jordan and LeBron James are two players that could have won MVP every year. So I'll give you those points.
I can't give you
can
that.
say that for Kobe as well, but this is not about Kobe.
No,
So.
there's no MVP that LeBron didn't win. He should have won. There's no MVP. There's no MVP. I'm that serious.
He should have won at 18.
18? How? Yeah. When they were what? What was he with?
He had more points than James Harden, more rebounds than James Harden, more assists than James Harden, on a worse team than James Harden.
What seed they were?
Than James Harden that year as well. I know the playoffs.
It's not about the playoffs. What seed they were that year? They were like a 4. They were like a 4 seed that year when James Harden was a 2nd seed with nobody on his. He didn't have him on his team either.
Russ averaged a trip dub and won MVP at like what was
because it was a historic contest. He was the first one who averaged a triple double since Oscar Robinson. So they gave him MVP because of that.
That's a valid point, but you can't make it seem like the standings are what make the all the difference. They play a part.
It does. It does for MVP.
Huh?
For MVP, it does make a difference.
Not all of the difference though, and it shouldn't make all of the difference when the guy that you're competing with beating you in he beat James Harden in every statistical category possible, but James Harden won MVP.
I think it was the second best team in the league that year, or the best team in the West. I think it was probably the best team.
We agree to disagree there. I believe they robbed LeBron that year. I believe they robbed LeBron of an MVP, but even then, Jordan would have more MVPs. I'll give you that.
There's one MVP Jordan should have had. Jordan had a better record. He led a league in scoring, first team all defense, first team all NBA, and Carmelo won. How you have the best record in the league, scoring title, all first team all NBA, first team all defense? That guy deserved it. Not no guy who was a fourth seed in the league. What the world? No.
I agree with you on Jordan, but I disagree. I think LeBron should have been MVP 2018. That's just me though. And
then LeBron James, defensive player of the year, everybody keep talking about. Marc Gasol, right, was 2nd team all defense, and that's why everybody said LeBron should have won. Marc Gasol had the number 1 first place votes. LeBron was 2nd in first place votes, and Ibaka was 3rd. That year, Marc Gasol had a better defensive rating. He had better defensive win shares. His team was a better defensive team. I can even make a case for you. Ibaka that year, he had 4 blocks that year, and OKC was a better defensive team than the Miami Heat. So if we gonna say he should have won it, I can make the same case for Ibaka. So I'm not gonna give him that. But anyway, Jordan got a defensive player of the year, LeBron don't. But look, let me say this right here. All right, y'all. I know we wrapping on time. Jordan, all right. If we want to talk about accolades, the only thing I would give LeBron. Only thing I give LeBron is longevity. That's the only thing I can give him. He played longer at a higher elite level. That's it. That's all I can give him. Jordan was a better winner than LeBron James. Better winner, right? He was a better scorer than LeBron James. Now you can say LeBron's a better rebounder. I'll give you that. You can say he's a better assist man, which people always say that. Okay, let's get it.
Go ahead, Tomo.
Nah, it's on you, Dave. It's on you.
They don't want to hear me. They thinking I'm siding. Even though I brought up the point for LeBron James winning the defensive player of the year, they think I'm siding with Jordan right now. So
I mean, well,
go ahead.
We got Vaughn with the $4.99 super chat. He said Jordan got the job done more than LeBron, point blank. Period. KD probably more skilled than a lot of guys, but he can't even get the job done. Shrug. #R2L.
That's a good point. That's a good point. KD great. Without Golden State only got 2 rings. I mean, but anyways, look, Jordan was a better winner than LeBron, right? Jordan got more accolades than LeBron in less years. How is that even possible? How can you make a case for a GOAT? How can you make a case to be better than somebody if they done more than you? Listen, I want to say this too. Look at it, y'all. There's a player out here, right, that has 1 MVP, 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs, 9 scoring titles, and a Defensive Player of the Year. Y'all know who that player is? The gap between LeBron and Jordan.
Kobe.
No. The gap between Jordan and LeBron is 1 MVP, 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs, 9 scoring titles, and Defensive Player of the Year. That's a better career than Kevin Durant. And then on top, like the dude never look, AJ, once Jordan won, that was it. Never lost again for real. Now everybody want to talk about he came back and lost to the Penny and them. Yeah, he did, but he played like 30 games that year. When he came back for a full season, 72-10. 72-10 MVP. So I respect LeBron. LeBron's number 2, but the only thing LeBron people can do is try to discredit what Jordan did that he had no control over. He had no control over them. Scottie Pippen developed him to who he was. He had no control over that. I mean, but I can also nitpick LeBron. LeBron had better players than Scottie than he did, and then you keep bringing up D-Wade's hurt. But when D-Wade was, you can't talk about if D-Wade was healthy, they would have won more. When he was healthy and they didn't win, I can't give you that. I can't assume LeBron would have more rings when he lost in 2011. That actually happened. And D-Wade actually would have won MVP if they would have won.
That was his last healthy season, right?
No, he was healthy after that too when he won.
His knees started failing him after that, though, Joe. That's why LeBron had to take over. I'm gonna be quiet though. Go ahead. Because if we really want, because this is what AJ should have said. Because I mean, he could have threw this out there. I'm not saying he should have, because he both of y'all great points, right? But if you think about it, right, D-Wade was a better player before LeBron showed up, correct?
Yes.
Dennis Rodman was a player too before he ended up on that Bulls team too, right? He actually helped propel that team to beat that Pistons team that third time after they lost 3 times, because they stole Dennis Rodman. When Dennis Rodman came to the Bulls, that's when
he came to the Bulls in the second 3-peat. He wasn't there the first time. That man was there the second 3-peat. My man only had 3 rings.
The first 3 rings.
My man only had 3.
But Rodman was who he was before when he got.
No, he wasn't. He went to San Antonio and he kind of fell off a little bit.
Rodman wasn't a good player. Rodman wasn't a good player when he got to the Bulls.
I'm not saying he wasn't a good player, but he wasn't the same. He wasn't Detroit.
But he helped.
He would have been.
Nobody's saying Jordan didn't have help. That's not.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when Rodman got there, he helped them get another 3-peat, correct? If D-Wade was also if D-Wade was also as healthy as he was before LeBron got there, you think Miami wouldn't have won 4 or 5?
No, because they lost in 2011.
I think LeBron. If to answer your question, I think if D-Wade was healthy, I think LeBron re-signs and continues to win with the Miami Heat. I think one of the biggest reasons why he biggest reasons why he left is because what you say, Dave?
I can agree with that.
I think one of the biggest
that played a big part in LeBron leaving, because D-Wade wasn't healthy. But the thing is, D-Wade had those issues before LeBron got there. I'm not going to say
that's why I said if he was healthy.
LeBron got there, because remember he was out for a whole year with his arm. He had a broken arm that he was out for.
If it was a field, we all be drunk.
If you this is my thing. This is
about discrediting, man.
You say, well, I don't know if that would have happened because he lost in 2011. So then, with that same notion, I bring up this fact with Michael Jordan. If he never had Scottie Pippen or a top 75 player, that man may have never gotten out of the first round of the playoffs.
But he had
and he's been a favorite in every single one of his playoffs, because they have had a great overall team. It wasn't just about Michael Jordan.
Because they had Michael Jordan.
Better overall teams than the teams that they faced. My bad.
No, you got
my bad. Played it like 3 times.
My bad.
Shout out to JMO, another super chat. Basketball is about scoring points to stop any point from scoring points. Jordan is better at both.
I think scoring is debatable too.
Hashtag all too well.
I said,
hold on. Go ahead.
We need a part 2.
Hold on. I want to hear this part here.
When you shoot better from the field and you shoot better from the 3 on less shots, I'm led to believe that if you shoot the same amount of shots, you will average the same amount of points.
It's
And
Kareem.
also, we talk about how how many points Michael Jordan scored. We never talk about as an overall offense how many points LeBron contributed to, because I guarantee it's more than Michael Jordan with all the assists he had as well. But if we just want to focus on scoring, Jordan took more shots because that was his main responsibility. His main responsibility was to score the ball, and he was damn good at it. He was
Great at it.
At the end of the day, I mean, he's not the all-time leading scorer. He had time to get there.
I mean,
So you telling me Kareem?
He took more shots. Than
So
LeBron.
you telling me Karl Malone better score than Jordan?
What was that?
But is Karl Malone a better scorer than Jordan?
Statistically, maybe.
Come
But
on,
if we
man.
talking just straight skill, Jordan is a better overall scorer.
Karl Malone shoot better percentage than Jordan, and he has more points all time than Jordan. But
He
he
don't
not
shoot
a
better
scorer
from the
than
three.
Jordan.
The three matters as well.
Karl
The
Malone-
three matters as well. LeBron is a more efficient scorer. The only reason why he don't average as many points is because on all of his teams, every last one of them, he has to do more than just score. I gotta run the offense. I gotta
Who fault is that?
facilitate the basketball. I gotta
fault is that?
score. I gotta rebound the back. Did you ask who fault it is?
LeBron James can't play off the ball. He never played off the ball his whole career. He has to be ball dominant for to be effective.
Oh, we getting
Hey,
money.
we gonna hold up on this
He
stuff.
has to.
That's
We
He
gonna
has
hold
to
up on
be
this
ball
stuff.
dominant.
He just.
That's my
I'm sorry, let me get this off real quick. LeBron played off ball this whole playoffs. The whole playoff run, he was off ball. And
Okay, and who's the best player on their team? Who was the best player on their team this playoff run?
It was AD.
Probably AD.
Exactly. So he did not lead the team as the best player off the ball. He did not do that. The one time I won a championship, he was on the
You
ball.
said he can't play off ball.
And win. That's my point. He can't win off the ball. He can. He hasn't. Every time he won, it was effective. He had to dominate the ball. LeBron is a one-way play. Like, that's the only way he can play. A certain team has to be constructed around LeBron. You gotta have shooters around LeBron for them to be effective. That's how LeBron's always been. When the Lakers were bad,
luxury. He hasn't had the luxury of playing with a true point guard to take him off the ball his whole career. When he started off playing with the Cavs, who was running their offense? Nobody else was capable of running their offense but LeBron. When he went to Miami, who was running their offense? D-Wade wasn't going to run the offense. Mario Chalmers wasn't going to run the offense. It was going to be LeBron James running the offense. In LA, before all the players just came, who's going to run their offense? LeBron, because nobody else was running that offense. The second tender with Cleveland, Kyrie ain't running no offense.
Hey,
Kyrie
this is my
not-
point.
so
No.
LeBron had to
This
run
is
the- that was
who's
his
gonna run the
responsibility.
offense. I got y'all. This is gonna run the offense. Donnell gonna run the offense because he got the
Thank you.
$4.99
Thank
super
you.
chat. All right. No D-Wade slander will be tolerated. This is some barbershop talk here. I told y'all in the beginning this is gonna be one of those debates that's gonna be replayed over and over again. But no D-Wade slander will be tolerated. I don't care if it's injuries. You better finish with a positive statement.
Thank you, Don. Hey, see,
Hashtag
Donnell.
3 is the GOAT.
thank you. That's my man Warren. Go ahead, continue.
All right, we gotta conclude this though. This is good. We will be here for another 2 hours.
Can we get 5 more minutes?
Go ahead.
Literally, the clock starts now.
Okay, cool. Look, AJ, man.
Wait,
My
he
God.
get 2:30. I get like 2:30 as well.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I'm starting the
All
timer.
right, fair.
Listen, you know what? You go first because I started the whole debate off. So you got to go first in this one. Go ahead. What's your closing statement?
And I probably don't even need 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I feel like I didn't say just about everything in here. Some things I took back because you knocked out a point or two. And I'm not gonna say that. I might say that, but I'm not gonna say that part. This is what I would say. My overall picture when I think about LeBron James compared to Michael Jordan. I think about a player that came into the league, drafted number 3 overall, a Chicago Bulls organization that was very well ran, made sure he was surrounded by the correct pieces from coaching the players to help him facilitate in winning. That's what I see in Michael Jordan, and I really see that in his second three-peat. When you add Tony Kukoc, who you tried to dismiss, but he is a really good player. When you add a guy like Dennis Rodman, who was a great defensive player, one of the greatest rebounders of all time, Scottie Pippen at the peak of his game, the man had great teams, which is why he was always favored in the NBA Finals. That is why he was always favored, because he had great teams. He was never supposed to lose in the NBA Finals. And the only time he lost is when he wasn't a favorite. When he wasn't a favorite, he was losing, which means anytime you expected Michael Jordan to lose, he lost. And every time you expected him to win, he win. Kudos to him. But on the flip side, when I look at LeBron James and everything he had to go through from the start of his career to where he is now, nobody looks at Michael Jordan, anybody else, the way they look at LeBron, because of the level and the expectation that he set on himself and the expectations that was placed on him earlier on in his career. He dealt with a lot of different things, from coming to Cleveland, not having a team put around him, to going to Miami, winning but having injured teammates, to coming back to Cleveland, going up against nothing but stacked rosters in the finals without having two of your best players, them going back and adding Kevin Durant, then he went to the West, won in the West, won on both conferences. I just feel like LeBron James has shown me, similar to the AJ Brown conversation, he can do more with less, and he could do it no matter the coach, no matter the system, no matter the teammates, no matter what. He's going to find a way to win until he literally can't, because the deck is stacked. Dallas Mavericks series, if you want to use that against me, that's perfectly fine. All I'm saying is Jordan got blemishes too. Just like you bring up the Mavs, I'm not going to just gloss over the man losing 3 straight times to a Pistons team. I'm not going to gloss over the fact that you never beat Larry Bird. I'm not going to gloss over the fact that when you finally did start winning, you caught some of the best players to ever play on the back end of their career. So that is my stance. I respect Michael Jordan, but that's just how I feel. I feel like LeBron's a better overall player. He could do more with less, and he could do more on the basketball floor than Michael Jordan.
Whew, that's a buzzer beater.
LeBron James.
Bron.
It's on you. Joe so upset he on mute.
Joe, you on mute.
Once I heard what I heard once again was nothing but discrediting what Jordan did and overhyping what LeBron did. All right, you said every time when Jordan wasn't a favorite, he lost. Every time he was the favorite, he won. We can't say the same about LeBron James. So that point is invalid. LeBron has lost multiple playoff series when he was a favorite. Do I have to mention him? Okay. I said, do I have to mention him or we go? Okay. All right. I thought when I put you, I probably forgot.
I wasn't aware.
Orlando Magic. He was favoring that series when Kobe was waiting for him in the finals and he lost. But I'm gonna do that to you. All right.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, man, I want to know what you did. I want to know when you played basketball in your years, what did you accomplish? I didn't watch him live. But all I know is Jordan, once he got over his one hurdle that every superstar has to go through, it was over. It was curtains. He won 3 straight. There has been 4 3-peats in NBA history. Jordan owns 2 of them. Jordan won when Jordan came to the league, you talking about defeating the odds, there was never a scoring guard that led a league in scoring and won a championship. They said there wasn't a guard that can lead a team to a championship. Did you know every time Jordan won, he won a scoring title? Every time he won a championship, he won a scoring title. Every time he won a championship, first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, scoring title champion. That's defeating the odds right there. Unlike some people I know who comes to Miami and say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, and they come out in your first championship and lose to a Dunn Whiskey-led, no superstars with them, Dallas Mavericks. When you said, when not you, a lot of people said Jordan is guard Scottie Pippen. Why didn't LeBron guard Dirk Whiskey? That's what I want to know. Nobody never asked that question. And Jason Terry outplayed you? You give me a role player that outplayed Jordan in the playoffs. Why do everybody talk about Jordan dropping 63 points against Bird? He lost. But do you know that's still a record to this day? The most points scored in a playoff game? To this day, as a record, that's why it gets talked about. So Jordan has done things that's never been done that's still in the record books. LeBron, I'll give you all longevity. Yeah, he can carry the team to the playoffs, but can he win? That's what I want to know. Can he win? So Jordan's the GOAT, and I rest my case.
Hey, y'all boys is good. Y'all had timers on too.
Stop it.
Hey, this is to both. To AJ, you did the best job I could have. You did the best job I could have ever witnessed.
No, bro.
When it comes to defending LeBron James, you did a great job.
He's the best at it.
Great job.
Bing,
great
bang.
job. And Joe,
some people I know in the chat.
And Joe, what can I say? You did what you were supposed to do for Jordan. That's probably the best debate I've heard for Jordan ever. Because we know there's been people that defended Jordan all the time, like Skip Bayless. All he brings us is 6 rings and 6 finals. That's not enough. We know Shannon Sharpe has defended LeBron James a lot.
I got you.
He brings up great points as well. But this, to me, is the best debate I've heard when it comes to LeBron James. AJ, you did your thing. You did everything you needed to do to make a point for LeBron James, and that was a great job.
Thank you, man. I just
so
wanted to
glad.
make y'all think. That's all. I just wanted to make it. I know it's not gonna change people's opinions either way, but I want to make everybody think. That's all. That's always my goal.
Hey,
Well,
AJ, let people know what you got going on before you get off. I know you
Yeah,
work
go
with ESPN Radio. You on another radio show. You got your own stuff going on. Tell
Yes,
people
sir.
what's going on with you.
Got to plug ESPN Radio, working with them out here in Minneapolis, Taxi Squad. Actually, that episode just released yesterday, so y'all can check that out. That's in my bio. That's the podcast with them. Also, I have my own podcast called Full Time Out. Y'all can check that out every Wednesday from 6 to 7 Central Time. Obviously, my content on my Instagram page, AJ2K, A as in apple, J as in juice, A as in alphabet, E as in eat, the number 2, the letter K, and all the rest of my content is there. Same thing with my YouTube channel. But everything there, you go to my Instagram, you click on the link, and everything you want to find is there, top to bottom. So, yeah, it's been, and I appreciate y'all. I love coming on the show, man. I love debating. This is who I am at the core. I love debating, so and I love a good debate. I knew matching up with Joe and this debate was gonna be tough. I wish I could see my notepad. I got so many notes. I'm like,
Hey,
and
you
if
should have called me,
even
bro.
hit, I'm like, I gotta be ready, bro. So
You should have called me, bro. I had some other stuff I could have helped you out with.
Hey, we not though. Look, we ain't doing this convo. He right though. He right.
Facts,
Hey, AJ, appreciate you, man. We definitely gonna get you back going whenever you want, and we're gonna be hitting you up to get back going, especially with football coming up. Like Mark said, back to hating them Eagles, man.
Fly Eagles fly, yo.
You better have your notepad ready for that season too.
All right, man. Stay safe.
All right, y'all. Great debate.
Appreciate you, man.
Whew. Man, I'm sweating like LeBron James playing the Mavs in 2011. But look though, let's wrap this up real fast, y'all. Let's do them fast commercial with the all the stuff in the back they don't want to read. So look, make sure y'all like this video on all 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We will monetize that. Shout out to YouTube. Make sure you share it, because that's something I'm gonna rewatch soon we get off. All right, so share with people you know, because it's probably the best Jordan LeBron debate you've ever heard. All right. And last but not least, subscribe and follow if you haven't done that yet on all 3 platforms. Appreciate y'all in the comment section. Appreciate all the super chats, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Them things are coming in. I appreciate y'all, man. But I was in the trenches, man. I was in the trenches. All right. He kept trying to grapple me. I'm like, no, bro, I gotta get you. But look, Dave, talk about them IG chats real quick. We got going on.
Dave, this is about to be the easiest run through ever. I promise.
Facts. If you ain't a member now, you better become one ASAP. These are the chats: NBA, mixed with WNBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. Shout out to Teddy, BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Everything do baseball goes through there. College football, like I said before, we are 45 days away from college football. You want to tune in this year. Basketball, men's and women's. Trust me, it's going to be a great basketball season when that comes. Boxing, we got a fight coming up this month. July 29th, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. You want to watch the show when it comes on. Tomo's going to be hosting it, of course. You want to be here. You want to be able to see what's going on. And then that's mixing with UFC and some wrestling. Trust me, you want to become a member. How to become a member? Tomo, let them know.
Hey, my man saying is you want to come on the show, you become a member. You get the superstar level. You can come right on the show, man. $9.99 a month. Click the link in the description and hit the join if you're not subscribed, but it's right next to that subscribe button, so you can do both at the same time. But look, we got the pro level at $2.99. With that, you get the loyalty badges next to your name. In the live chat, you get the priority comments. That you definitely needed that today. Definitely needed that today, because the comments was going crazy. I knew Jordan was going to bring the people out. You get to join one chat. You see what happened on the show. So imagine if you only in one chat. So you definitely going to want to bump that up to the all-star level for $4.99 a month. You get the same perks from the pro level, but you get member-only videos. You get to join multiple chats now. So we literally do this in every single chat. It doesn't matter what's going on. Every single chat has one of these heated debates, and it's always historic. And you get to request a topic or a segment nominee. So when it comes to the segments, you got You're Done, Son. I can't even say nobody You're Done, Son after that one, man. We might have to put some people in the doghouse. You got Doghouse, and we got Not So Average Top 5. We might could just blend all the segments together after what we just witnessed here. And if you want to be on the show, like my man was requesting, you jump up for $9.99 a month. You become a superstar. You get to join the R2L chats. You still get the same perks from the first 2 levels that I told you about, but you get to join the R2L chat. You get to be a guest on the show. So the invite is there. And you get awards, plaques to the top performers, and member shout outs. So I don't got too much else to say after that one, Joe. You did your thing. AJ, you did your thing. Baseball with Teddy, man. Make sure y'all check that out, man. They did the home run derby yesterday. We had the MLB drive. I mean, Teddy been running it up with the baseball. Take it away, Joe.
Let's get it. Shout out to BWT. All baseball content goes through BWT. All right, normally we do last words, but I know we over the time limit. We're going to have to wrap this up. That's all we have for y'all today. And we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Oh my God. We'll see y'all.
Can he hit the button you so tired?
Episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.